Hello to my YouTube family. Welcome back to my space of love, laughter, and a lot of laziness. As you can see, today from the last video that I did, yeah, this is the hairstyle from that. Still holding on to it. I did refresh it though. Did refresh it. I think 2 days ago. But anyways, today's a video. It's a story time. I'll also be, because I'm working on a new project, I'm crocheting something. So I'm working on crocheting. Okay, yeah, that sound again. So on today's video, I'll be telling you on how I almost was a sugar baby. Moment of silence for that. How I was almost a sugar baby because of being naive. So what backstory to this whole thing? So I am doing one of my hustles, right? So I get a gig, and then when I'm waiting, right, for my client. Okay, no, now the bang at it. But okay, when I'm waiting for the person that I'm working with, the person for the gig, yeah, I'm waiting outside of this restaurant because that's where the whole thing is happening. Basically, I'm shooting content for the person. So, who are we gonna say the person is? Okay, so let's say Nilinde or Peter, right? So I'm waiting for Peter, who is the person that I'm working with to create content with, right? So my client, basically, let me say my client. So I'm waiting for my client, which is Peter, outside this restaurant, and then here comes. Ooh, so I'm texting Peter, okay, right? So I text Peter about, oh Peter, where are you? I'm here. Oh, I to Peter, give me 2 minutes, like I'm 2 minutes away. I'll be there. Fine, sure. And then oh, starting banding again. Oh, Uncle C, right? So Uncle C pops up. Uncle C is the sugar daddy. So Uncle C pops up, and then he walks past, right? So I'm standing outside of the restaurant. So I'm on my phone on some, where are you? Like the sun's going down, everything, like the whole picture that I had in my head for the first like things that we're gonna capture. Because the source of natural light and the golden hour, you know. And then I did go, Uncle C. Uncle C, and then he stands just a bit, like not far, but like, yeah, a distance from me. And then he stands. So I'm standing, and then I keep looking around, but Sambi, Peter's at it, and like, when is Peter gonna get here, you know? Fine. And I'm panicking at the same time. So Peter's like, no, go inside the restaurant, and then you can just wait. Yeah, well, I'm like, I'm sure guys, there's awkward understand, so I don't go inside because I'm like, that's gonna be awkward. Going inside and then just waiting, in as much as standing outside of a restaurant is more awkward, but going inside and sitting down and not ordering anything is worse in my perspective. Okay, sure. So I'm waiting, and it's starting to get cold. Okay, back to the story. So I'm waiting, and I'm starting to get cold now. Then Uncle C walks closer, you know, to where I'm standing, and then and was about, oh, so people and my natural hair, like especially guys who don't take care of their hair, they just leave their hair as it is. So it's like, it's that awkward stage of, it's an afro, but it has like dibana, like with dreadlocks, but not dreadlocks, but yeah, together. So Uncle C has that type of hairstyle situation, or hair situation. And then he asks me back, I'm so sorry. So Uncle C asks me back, So, what can I do? Like, what do you do to your hair? Oh, I'm trying to take care of my hair. Like nam the afro. So, what do you do to your hair? Well, how do you take care of your hair? Where do you go to? Like, which salon? So, I'm like, no, there is a salon that I know which deals with natural hair. You know, so you can go there, and they're also running like a special at this point. So you can go there, they're gonna do your hair and stuff. I will. And then I was like, and then he's like, oh, okay, thank you. Can you just can I get your number so that you can send me the salon's details, about where the salon is? And I'm like, okay, right, fine. So I give him my number, and then he sends me a hi, and then I sent him the details of the salon because that was the whole reason of the interaction. So I thought. And then finally, weeks go by without like talking because maybe Peliglando, yeah, hair salon, not like was it 2 weeks or weeks, but or days, but busy. It was long. And then on a random, was a random Tuesday. Yeah, it was random Tuesday. He sends me a text. Ho- oh, hope you enjoy work. Well, oh no, he said hope work was good, right? And I'm like, oh, what did he? Okay, now I'm paraphrasing. So, okay, so days go by, and like a few weeks go by. Actually, yeah, a few weeks go by, almost close to a month. And then he takes on, hi, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm good, and you? But I'm like, what's like really? And then and Bozoba. So on a Tuesday, it was a Tuesday morning, like around about 12, like 11. And he's like, oh, hope work is good. And I'm like, I answered after like an hour or something. I'm like, work was good because I work night shift. I'm like, work was good. And I'm like, so draining. And he's like, oh, you done? Oh, and then he's like, oh, I thought I was gonna send you lunch. I thought you were at work, so I was gonna send you lunch. I'm like, oh, okay, that's random. Like, just send lunch. Don't understand. I was like, oh. And he's like, no, but I can still send it, even though like I can still send you money. And then he asks what like do I use Capitec? And I'm like, yeah, I use Capitec. And then fine, boom, sends money for lunch. I'm like, oh, thank you very much. I received the money. And then days go by after that. Oh, and then after that is like unganqabi, basically, because uh anyone who knows me on WhatsApp, I'm quite scarce. I'm not a person to text a lot. I don't like texting even on WhatsApp. I prefer sending VNs. So I'm like, okay. Still, I'm like, fine. Days go by after the lunch money situation. Then and then he sends me a text on a random Thursday. On a random, I think no, it wasn't last week. It was that other. I think, not sure, but it was a Thursday. One thing I remember is that it was on a Thursday when this happened. So he sends me a text and he's like, around Abu 11. Was it 11? I think it was 11 a.m. or something. No, it was, yeah, it was 10 a.m. So he sends me, no, it was a Monday that posted. It was a Monday because I know Monday and then get so usually on Mondays I'm up during like normal people hours. Oh, then I just broke my hair. So it was on a Monday. He texts Uguti, are you always like, oh hi? I'm like, hi, good morning. And he's like, so can you oh, are you up for coffee? Oh, he's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm like, um, I'm at my place. I just woke up, and he's like, "Oh, are you up for coffee?" I'm like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, do you want to? Oh, can we grab some coffee?" I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, "Oh, okay. How about 11 o'clock? Or how about we make it 11?" I'm like, "Okay." So now the time is 10:15. So I get up, I get ready, I shower, and then I'm like, "Okay, so where are we gonna meet? For the coffee?" Then he's like, "No, the restaurant's down at your place. Mostly like they serve mostly Oh, it's like, I doubt they serve breakfast. They probably serve like lunch and dinner." I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, "I'll just Uber you here to this restaurant." Shop by. We go to the restaurant. Oh no, no, he Ubers me, He sends an Uber, and then fine, I get there. So I get there and I'm like, "Okay, so what?" So I'm like, "Okay, it takes me outside." And he's like, "No, you can come inside, well, of the restaurant. You'll see me." So I walk in, and then I tell the lady who's standing by the door, "No, there's someone that was waiting for me." And he's like, "Oh yeah." Then he shows me where he's sitting. Yeah, hlele koneni. Hey, sure fine. As a restaurant. So you see those corners, or where at a restaurant you would barely see someone, but someone would see you. It's that situation. So I get there, and then we start making small talk. About, "Oh, okay." And then we start talking about phones. So random, like very random conversations. And then he's like, "No, I don't want to reveal my age." Oh, so we supposedly told him about phones, right? And then he's like, "Yo, like the only phone that I was really like, how I knew how it worked was like," and he's like, "Oh, I don't really want to reveal my age because you can know how old I." Dude, you look old. You already have like white hair on your face, and you look like my grandfather's age at this point. And then, but me at the same time, I'm like, I can't need to buy, sugar baby, sugar daddy, sugar, 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 And then I order like coffee, and then so we snuggle and get your phone. And then what happens again? Oh, and then after that, he's like, "Oh, why don't you go look like what dessert you'd like and stuff like that, like in the suite." Yeah. Fine, I go look, and then I'm like, "Okay, I know exactly what I want." Like, it takes me like 2 seconds to decide what I want. And then so the lady comes, and then he's like, "Oh, I didn't see her look." Oh, so Uncle C's like, he didn't see me look at the menu. Then he describes what he wants for breakfast. I'm like, "Oh, okay, give me like 2 minutes." Then I know what I want. Because I'm like, I thought this was just coffee. I'm not used to coffee dates. Or just going out for coffee back and the coffee and breakfast. That's the same. So I order breakfast, and then he decides to switch what he wanted to what I'm ordering now. Fine, sure. Okay, cool. Fine, sure. Go night. And then we get to a point. I'm doesn't talking and hands on this. Okay. So now we ati bah and then he's like, so now he's fishing, right? So he's like, "So what does your boyfriend say with you being busy all the time and stuff like that?" I'm like, "Nah, he understands." Boyfriend, like, no, he understands. Good to a girl has to make money, So only way for me to make money is to work, and I won't be at home just in jail waiting, And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then at again Okuba, "Oh, is that part of the reason why you don't text a lot?" I'm like, "I'm not a texter." And he's like, "Oh, at least Anduzofila Ingati, I'm being neglected." For a second, my mind glitched right there. Feeling neglected. Eh? Like how? What? Dude, On your Instagram, you posted your daughter's birthday. Your daughter is 4 years older than me. You have a son who's younger than me and another son, I think. But Candy, it's down. But you have a daughter who's like 4 years old. That's not. And then after that, sure, fine. At again, oh, it was nice. Oh, and then he's like, he has to bounce. He has another meeting that he's going to. What. Hopefully, and this on won't be scarce, and that will probably have more meets where we go for coffee or lunch or even dinner. Oh, he didn't mention he's like going for lunch. I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay, now here is the money for the Uber, for your Uber home, and then we'll just keep in touch. I'm like, sure, fine. And then he's like, oh, text me when you get home. So I get to my place, and then again, I go silent, basically. I did text him that I'm home. Then I'm just quiet for a few, like, because, yeah, don't know what to say. Like, I'm not going to me, you know? And then it gets to him texting, like, days later. But, oh, hi, how are you? I was just checking on you. I'm like, no, I'm good. It's all good. Then he's like, so when am I gonna see you again? Like, I'll get back to you with that. Then now gets to this point of him saying, when now my cat was like, so he texts me. He goes out of town. He comes back, and then he texts me. Go to oh, I'm back, and I'd really love to see you. So can you think of something that we can do? You know, something we can do. Why are you making it sound like we're in a relationship? Like something we can do? What? So I'm like, this is not right. This doesn't feel okay. Like my gut was like, no, like no. But I want to confirm it first, you know. So I text him back. Like, what are your intentions? Like, what are your goals with this whole thing? Like, I don't understand what's going on, you know. Like, why did you contact me in the first place? What were your intentions of wanting my number and stuff like that? And he's like, nah, I'm willing to do anything that you want me to do, and I'm willing to take it as far as you want me to take it. It's all up to you. What are we taking? What are we putting? What's going on? You know? And I knew exactly, like when he said that, good, this is no innocent thing. Like, wouldn't even be in Yoba. He's like, oh no, I saw some potential and I have like a sponsorship for something, you know, or something. Nah, it's nothing like that. This is just nasty. This is Mr. Libalo, you know. Actually, come on, maybe Mr. Libalo instead of Uncle C. Mr. Libalo. And then I was like, you know what? I'm feeling uncomfortable with this whole situation. Because I was like, instead of me ghosting him, that would be just heartless. Like, instead of me ghosting, you know what? I'm feeling uncomfortable with this whole situation. And I'd rather, like, I don't want to meet with you again. And please delete my number at this point in time. Like, can we never talk again? I don't want no more meetups, no more texting. Like, nah, I'm out. I'm very uncomfortable with this because it's just against my morals. And then he's like, I understand. And at that point, I knew good to know, lo, he pros and and probably there are other girls, there are other some girls who are out there abathumela imali ezintweni abaqalela ihlobo no thumela imali ye-lunch going out for. I was like, yo, the shock. But like, in as much as, but like, I look so young. Like, Masia Ganyindo, like, I look so young. And, oh, he's probably in his 50s or something, close to his 60s. And yet, about Jerry, let make me understand How do you see a girlfriend when, fine, I know I'm 24, but I don't look 24. And to top it off, I get this all the time, people saying that I look 16, I look 15. When a 15-year-old, one man no. The shocking things we come across in this world. But anywho, thank you very much for listening to my story, and I hope you do stay tuned for more content, and don't forget to do the things that makes the post to be done. Hopefully I'll be done with this by tonight, and then I will show you. Oh, it looks like a small cappy key. So, and then I'll show you the finished product. Also, please do follow my business page, Stitches by Samget, to see more of these.